In this demonstration video, we showcase Pikes, a tool for extracting knowledge from natural language text. By exploiting several state-of-the-art natural language processing tools, Pikes identifies entities and complex entity relations in an English text, and exposes the extracted content in RDF according to semantic web and linked data best practices. Pikes builds on semantic role labeling for deep text analysis. Semantic role labeling tools identify occurrences of frames in a text, marking the spans of text acting as predicate and role fillers, and disambiguating them with respect to frame catalogs such as probebank, nomebank, framenet, or verbnet. Pikes works as follows. Starting from an English text, Pikes annotates it exploiting several natural language processing tools, performing shallow NLP tasks such as tokenization and part-of-speech tagging, as well as deep NLP tasks such as dependency parsing, shown above the text, and semantic role labeling, shown below the text. For instance, semantic role labeling allows Pikes to extract the nomebank support predicate, with beneficiary role fight of HIV and manner very strong. NLP annotations are then translated to a graph of mentions, which are span of text denoting something of interest, such as person George W. Bush, the attribute very strong, the predicate resulted. Mentions are enriched with attributes and relations, precisely characterizing what they represent. Mentions from multiple sentences are then processed to derive instances, that is, persons, locations, events, and other entities of the domain of discourse, abstracting from their actual textual realization, and to extract subject-predicate-object facts about them. Pikes accomplishes this step using a rule-based strategy that allows to interpret the collected information handling relevant linguistic phenomena such as argument nominalizations, frame-frame relations, and group entities. The source text with its metadata, the mention extracted from it, and the instances generated by applying the rules represent the three layers of Pikes' representation model. This model is fully expressed in RDF according to semantic web best practices, and by exploiting links between the layers, it allows to relate each triple produced at the instance layer to the parts of text and the intermediate NLP output from where it was derived. So let's see Pikes in action. To start with, we type in a text like this two-sentence example. Further examples can be picked up from the drop-down menu below the text area. Additional metadata about the input text, such as author or document creation time, can be also provided. Some of them, like the document creation time, may affect the way content is produced by Pikes, such as the normalization of relative time expressions like yesterday or last week. By pressing Submit, Pikes starts processing the text. At the end of the processing, the Graph tab is automatically selected, and a graph rendering of the RDF instances and facts extracted by Pikes is shown. More in details, nodes represent instances, and arcs assertions on them. Additional assertions, such as types and labels, are shown by tooltips when hovering with the mouse over any element of the graph. Colors are used to identify different types of instances. Persons, in this case the DBpedia entity Bono was identified in the text, a FOF name and RDFS label were extracted, together with other assertions such as typing according to Iago and other ontologies. Time expressions, such as March 2002, which was properly formalized according to the OWL time ontology. Locations, such as DBpedia Africa. Events, such as fight, which was disambiguated with respect to different lexical resources, such as framenet, probebank, nomebank, and verbnet, by exploiting the predicate matrix developed within the Newsreader European project. And attributes, such as very strong. Furthermore, arcs summarize multiple triples, like in the case of this arc between supporter and Bono, where the role of Bono in the supporter frame corresponds to different assertions according to the different reference lexical resources. As previously mentioned, Pikes organizes and produces all its content, including the intermediate processing results, according to three representation layers: text, mention, and instance. These layers are filled starting from the NLP annotation of the input text, produced by the NLP tools exploited by Pikes. Pikes stores NLP annotations according to NAF, an annotation format developed within the Newsreader project. From these annotations, Pikes first formalizes in RDF the metadata associated to the input text, such as the document creation time. It also exposes in RDF the information on the NLP processor used for the processing and the type of processing performed. Then, a module we developed extracts mentions and mention attributes from the annotation file, exposing them as RDF content. Here you see, in a tabular representation, all the mentions identified in our input text. For instance, this mention, identified by an URI corresponding to the text span from character 134 to character 137, has a certain mention extent, 8, some types, for instance predicate mention, and additional attributes such as a corresponding lemma, supersense tag, and synset. The last two columns show the instance and instance triples formalized by Pikes from this specific mention. This content is instantiated by Pikes via rules, encoded as Sparkle update queries. The Instance tab shows all the instance facts produced by Pikes. The content is organized in 4 columns. The first 3 columns represent the subject, predicate, and object of the triple, while the 4th column identifies the mentions, possibly a single one, from which that triple was extracted. For instance, the triple aid as currency value 5 billions was extracted from the mention identified with the given URI, corresponding to the text span $5 billion. To store this triple mention relation, Pikes exploits the name graphs extension of RDF. Note that this tabular representation is fully searchable. Furthermore, all columns are sortable, and they can be effectively filtered. These search, sort, and filter capabilities are also supported on the Mention tab. The additional Hybrid tab enables to inspect the extracted content sentence by sentence. For each sentence, its main mentions are highlighted, and by hovering with the mouse over any token of the sentence, a summary of the linguistic attributes associated to that token is shown. Furthermore, by clicking on the sentence ID, user can access the key NLP annotation of the sentence, such as the dependency parsing and semantic or labeling ones, as well as a graphical rendering of the instance layer knowledge contributed by that sentence. The fusing of these sentence graphs produces the ultimate graph shown in the Graph tab. In extracting instance triples from mentions, Pikes performs a post-processing of the content produced via rules to compact the knowledge extracted. On one side, all same-as links are smashed to keep only a canonical URI for an entity, and an unnamed group of entities are filtered out. On the other side, named graphs representing the triple mention link are reorganized to reduce at the minimum the number of final quads. Both these options can be disabled to inspect the instance facts as produced by the rules without post-processing. As you can see, the version without post-processing has a click of 3 nodes related by all same-as links that is first resolved to a single entity by the post-processing. Then, as this unnamed entity includes 2 named entities, Bush and Bono, the post-processing propagates the assertions on the unnamed entity to its members, removing the unnamed entity. The Pikes website provides additional information on Pikes, such as a detailed description of Pikes' 3-layer reference model and its relation with the knowledge store, a framework to jointly store, manage, query, and retrieve both unstructured and structured knowledge that can be populated with the content produced by Pikes. An extensive description of the Pikes extraction process is also provided, including the rules for extracting the instance layer triples from the mentioned content. These rules are executed via RDF Pro, which is a multi-purpose tool for manipulating RDF and name graphs data. Still on the website, the RDF dataset obtained by extracting knowledge with Pikes from the 110,000 pages of the Simple English Wikipedia is also available, as well as the results of an evaluation of the accuracy of Pikes in extracting knowledge from text. The code of Pikes, which is released open source according to the GPL3 license, is available for forking on GitHub. For more information, please visit Pikes' website.